So after announcing it at MWC, Asus has finally brought its Zenfone 5Z to India. The price is killer, though the phone comes late and many companies have already launched their notch display smartphone. We'll see in this video if Asus has the magic with the Zenfone 5Z to sell at that price. You're watching India Today Tech. I'm Rahul Sethi. Let's begin. The Zenfone 5Z from the back has a peculiar Zenfone design. It has a glass back that reflects concentric circles and has a premium look to it. The build is metal, though it's not waterproof. You'll find that Asus has done a great job at making the phone, and there are two major reasons for that. First, the notch display makes the phone smaller. Asus has not made the phone big, it has kept it very handy. The phone packs a 6.2-inch display, and from nowhere you will see that it is a big phone. It's quite handy and it's quite easy to use with one hand. There are other design elements that I liked. For example, when you grip the phone, you feel the curved edges and the rounded corners give you a very comfortable grip. Though the back is flat, and unlike the OnePlus 5T or the OnePlus 6, it's not very fitting into the palm. But yes, its slightly smaller size gives it a benefit. The volume rocker and the lock key is also made in metal and are quite tactile, and the fingerprint scanner at the back is very easily reachable. Though Asus has skipped the fingerprint scanner that you will find on phones like the Vivo X21. I have nothing against the company because the hardware inside is very good. Next, you get a 3.5mm audio jack, which many companies are skipping, and you also get expandable storage on the same slot. Though it's a hybrid slot, you do get an option to expand the storage, and you can go for the base variant that comes at a very good price of 29,999. Next, let's talk about the display. You get a 6.2-inch panel which has Full HD Plus resolution, similar to phones like the Honor 10 or the OnePlus 5T or the OnePlus 6. But it's an IPS panel and not a Super AMOLED display like you get on the OnePlus 6. The drawbacks of that are display is not very bright, and you'll see that AMOLED panels in directional light will perform much better. But on the plus side, you get better color reproduction. Indoors, if you'll see, the IPS panels perform better. They have better viewing angles and they have much better color reproduction. You'll see the blacks are very deep, the reds are not very shiny, they are toned down and look very pleasing to the eyes. So my overall experience of the display was quite good. Since most of the time I spent with the phone was indoors, I liked the display quality, and the fact that it has good color reproduction gives it a better score. One thing that's important to point out about Asus 5Z's design is that it uses Corning Gorilla Glass 3 at the front and the back. The drawback of that, if you compare with the Corning Gorilla Glass 5, is that the back gets your fingerprints, and the front, that is the one put on the display, makes the touchscreen not as smooth as the ones we have seen with Corning Gorilla Glass 5 like the OnePlus 6. The difference is very minor and you will notice only when you compare them side by side, but that is a thing you should definitely keep in mind if you're comparing it with the likes of OnePlus 6. Now there's not much to talk about the performance of the phone because it has Snapdragon 845 and paired to 6GB of RAM, the phone runs very fast. And I'm not talking about the software but the performance in general, because gaming is quite fast. We have played Asphalt 8, we have played many other games. The graphic capability of the phone is amazing. You'll see no frame lags and all the graphics are properly rendered on the display. The hardware also makes the software on the phone very fast. It runs the ZenUI 5.0 on top of Android Oreo. Although ZenUI is not as clean as the stock Android interface and you will find third-party apps, but it is very fast. And I was also surprised because previous ZenUI smartphones like the Asus Zenfone 4 probably wasn't this quick. The apps launch very fast. You'll see the multitasking is also amazing. You can switch between apps quickly. If I had to nitpick, and that's not a very big problem, is that the apps have exit animation. You'll see when you close the app, you'll notice it going down the display. If you compare it with stock Android phones, the apps just vanish when you click the home button or exit the app. And this is something, again, a very small difference that you can ignore if you are buying the Asus Zenfone 5Z. And to counter that, Asus has also provided some nice features on its ZenUI 5.0. For example, when you swipe down the notch, you'll see all the notifications in this small area, and when a notification or a message arrives, it will just pop up on the side of the notch and vanish. It's very nice and looks quite amazing. There are also some AI features bundled on the ZenUI. For example, there's 3 microphones on the phone, listen to the surrounding noise and adjust the ringtone volume according to that. So example, if you are in a silent room, the ringtone volume will be lowered down, and if you are in a noisy environment, it will be boosted to full. But our only concern was that is the phone sending all that data that it's listening to a cloud server, but that is not happening, so that's quite a relief in terms of privacy. There's also an AI charging feature that when you're charging the phone for a longer period, for example, if you put your phone on charging at night, it will not harm the battery and will stop it at 80%, and from 80 onwards to 100 will slowly charge the phone. This also reminds me that the phone comes with an 18-watt charger, and we found that it charges the phone in around 70 minutes. That is as competitive as the dash charging on the OnePlus 6, and it's quite a great deal. Though the battery on the Asus Zenfone 5Z is slightly smaller, and this would mean that there are more charging cycles to get the same output. But then again, the battery backup on the device is also quite nice. We got a full day of usage, extensive usage in full charge, and to top it off, it charges in almost an hour. So that's in totality not at all a deal breaker. Now the Zenfone 5Z comes with dual cameras at the back. One has a 12 megapixel sensor with normal lens, and the other has an 8 megapixel sensor with a wide angle lens. Though 12 megapixel is not an amazing resolution, the sensor in itself is quite amazing. It has 1.4 micrometer pixel size, which is great for low light photography, and it's also paired to an f1.8 lens and optical image stabilization. That makes for a great overall package, and we did manage to get some great shots in good light conditions and even in low light as well. And we did manage to get some good photos from the phone. You'll see the sharpness is amazing, the details on the photos are also quite nice, and the color reproduction primarily is also very good. It's very close to the actual scene. Indoors as well, we found the autofocus to be working quite fine, and it takes good shots. Noise suppression is average but not that bad, and you get good details out of the photo with nice color reproduction. In extreme low light conditions, you'll see that the phone gives away. There's a lot of noise and the details are lost. But then again, if you're comparing with phones like the Galaxy S9, the Zenfone 5Z would obviously not perform that good. Coming to the secondary wide angle camera, it also captures good shots if you are using it outdoors, and that is where you mostly would require the camera. If you're using it in low light conditions, you'll see there's a lot of noise, and most of the photos may not even turn out to be usable if the light is very low. But then again, it's a secondary camera, it's a wide angle lens, so you probably would be using it mostly outdoors, and that's a great addition and something different you get in this price range. But we're not really impressed with the front camera. It could have been better. In good light, it takes good shots, details are nice and colors are good. The skin tones are also preserved, but if you take low light shots, they're not very good. Noise creeps in and the details are lost. So overall, while the Zenfone 5Z comes late to the party, it brings with it a lot of benefits. The first and foremost is the price. You get it at 29,999 for the starting variant, and you may not go for a higher variant because you're getting expandable storage on the device. This may not make it the first Snapdragon 845 phone in the market, but it is obviously the cheapest one. So it's the best hardware you can get right now for the price. Next, Asus has also improved upon several things that caught us by surprise. For example, the ZenUI is very toned down and much more smoother than the previous versions, and the cameras on the device are quite amazing. You also get fast charging, and you also get a fast charger with the phone, and you get earphones as well bundled with the device. There are AI-based features, and the audio quality on the phone is also quite nice. Overall, it makes for a great package, and even though you get it at a lower price, there are very little compromises to make with the device. Let us know what you think about the Asus Zenfone 5Z in the comment section below, and if you liked this video, hit the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel to get more videos like this. Thank you for watching.